Live, Richard. Before we get into all this,
Yeah.
I got some numbers for you, and I got to tell you this. Are
Okay.
you ready for this? You know these numbers, but I've got to reiterate them for people listening or people watching. 2,565. That's the amount of backpacks you collected. We've got to tell people this again.
Wait, how many?
2,565. 2,565.
Wait, where are you getting your information? You're pretty good.
Pencils, 9,636. That's almost 10,000 pencils. And $102,000 worth of school supplies. This is the best year ever. Bazzy and Bubba's Backpack Brigade. It doesn't astound me because you do so much for others. But when you look at the sheer numbers, I just want, as someone who has kids that don't have a worry or a need, I just want to thank you as one of those kids that didn't grow up with much to say how much you do for others and what it means for others. So thank you. This was a booming success again, and I know it means a lot to you.
It does, and I appreciate you, really making the comment, knowing, caring enough to know the numbers, and yeah, we're really proud. A lot of people put a lot into it, and on the radio station side, on our side, Hannah, Chelsea, and Diane just busted their tails. Everybody really did, and the education partnership is our distribution arm, and when you start to get into the numbers, really the numbers of need are unbelievable, and to hear that 96% of the kids that they serve are on a food program, meaning they don't have enough money to eat. 96% are on a food program. Is that what the right number was? Yeah, 96%. That's, I don't know how that hits you, but knowing you, I'm thinking it hits you pretty hard.
Yeah, it does. And, I thought about that because I had heard that when I was listening to Star. And then on top of that, you could see a number on a piece of paper, but I try to envision 2,500 backpacks lined up in a row or stacked up.
It's a great
And
visual.
the enormity of that is, and then 2,500 people walking up and each grabbing one, and the amount of people that serves. So I don't want to,
I might like to do that. That's really cool.
too much time on that, but to just tell you that the visualize how many people that serves, or the enormity of that is really making a difference. So
Yeah, thank you for that. But me, I'm probably like you. It's never enough, and it's
right.
that whole one more, one more every day. I want to be bigger, badder, better. I know I may not be the most intelligent guy in the room. I may not be the tallest guy. I may not be the best looking guy, but I'm always going to work harder than anybody else around me. Always.
Well, the hat makes you taller.
It gives me some inches.
Yes.
I like it. So that's really it's really nice to hear the compliment, and rest assured we are not done. We will be bigger, badder, better, and whatever it takes. So, and we will enlist some of the sports teams we talk about here. We're going to talk to the Penguins again. We're going to talk, who I have great relationships with. We're going to talk to the Steelers again. So we really have some great ideas that came up today. So thanks for taking this brief sidetrack to the next issue.
Absolutely. All right. The issue at hand, the Steelers. They have one preseason game down, another one in front of them, Buffalo at home on Saturday. Matt Canada may have showed some things the other day.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You're doing it.
I thought he showed the first team. He showed them. He allowed them to get out there, show a little bit of flash. Then he told them to sit down. I don't know. Maybe he's going to let them open it up a little bit.
I know I texted you after the first couple of plays, and I was already throwing in the towel. I was pretty mad about it. And then pretty soon after that, he basically silenced me because I thought he did a damn good job. So, if I am able to criticize, I'm certainly able to praise. And I thought he did a great job. It just seemed that everything worked out. It was perfect. Now, I didn't see, and I was driving. I was actually in Florida, and I was driving on 95 and looking at my phone for the ESPN updates. So I was watching the ball move on the graph, and probably the most unsafe thing in the world to do. But I didn't see anything with Najee. Did we do anything with Najee? Did he run?
No, not really. I mean, he was what he was. But what's most appetizing was George Pickens doing things in the middle of the field. Like that is you talked about this at length all last year.
Yeah.
Does he do anything but just jump up and catch alley-oop balls?
One-trick pony.
Right. And for him to, on multiple occasions, run crossing patterns, run in the middle of the field, and do that the other day,
yeah.
And also making a vested interest to not show the whole playbook. So that means there's a lot more of that somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's got to be the biggest story, right?
Yep, I agree. I think what they showed you, if that can sustain, I think they showed you the 12-5 team I told you they'll be.
Whew. I know it's just one preseason game, and I am somebody that is always very guarded with predictions and whatever.
You should be. I mean, obviously, my that's a stretch. However, in my mind, if you can do it once, you can continue to do it, because the structure of the play calling, you have the talent. The people are there. There is no reason not to perform.
They showed me a lot. Well, the other part too is body language. And I know sometimes I make too much of that, but I think there's a lot to be told in that. Kenny Pickett walked out on that field and he was the big dog. Like he was like, this was my team. This is what I do. I'm in charge. Get out of my way.
Yeah,
Stop me.
I like that. I also like that he wears 2 gloves. I love that.
It's what he does. He grips the football. He wants to make sure that he has a firm grasp of it. You know,
people have said to me as a criticism, how can he do that? Well, if you put on a glove, if you've never put on one of those gloves and then you put a glove on and throw the ball, it does make a difference. Makes it. Yeah, it's great.
Well, the thing that I say is, and this is quite fact, if you put on one of those gloves, you can hear the football come out of your hand because of the stick on the glove. That's
really cool. I like it a lot. I would wear, hey, if I become the next quarterback of the Steelers, I'm going to wear one too.
Now, what do? You've seen the offense for just a couple series. You know kind of what you have. You have 2 more preseason games.
Sit. Stand pat. Come back at the last one. Refresh it, and then go. I would not play anybody. What do you think?
I wouldn't play anybody until the first game. I don't even need to see them in the second preseason game. I really don't. I know that Mike Tomlin will play that rust versus rest game in his head. Yeah. For me, there's no game to be played. Sit them down.
To go that way. At the very most, I would 1 series in game 3. That'd be it. But when's our first game? It's September
10th.
10th, and that's San Francisco.
Correct.
Yeah, that's here. Okay. Yeah, I would. Everybody sits. What am I looking at in terms of injuries throughout the league?
Well, you have to look internally first. Joey Porter Jr. has a bit of an ankle, so that's why he was out.
I wasn't sure because they said a minor injury.
Yeah, that's why he was out. So everything else is generally A-okay with the Steelers. Around the league, it's a matter of what's around the division. And I think the biggest story around the division isn't necessarily an injury that's happening right now.
Joe Burrow.
It's Joe Burrow, right. It's an injury that already happened, and how long that's going to set them back on top of another quarterback in the division. It's Lamar Jackson. It always feels like a ticking time bomb with Lamar Jackson and how many hits that he takes. But the Burrow injury first,
means nothing to me. I got to be honest with you. He means nothing to me. And Lamar, if you can hear this, you can call me. You can tell me anything you want to tell me. Yes, I'm a guy that wears a cowboy hat, so you can make fun of me. It's okay. But Lamar Jackson, and I'm looking for something that I'm going to show you here in a minute. But Lamar Jackson, sorry, buddy. That contract, man, covet it. I don't know how you got it. But that's pretty mean.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice. That's not in the spirit of giving. You just gave him a nice sort of big slap across the face.
No, I
But
did.
no, but in all seriousness, he just feels like a guy you watch and you're kind of waiting for him to get dinged up because he takes so many hits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a running quarterback, I mean, I thought that he was going to, change the model of what a quarterback was in the NFL. And I think for a large part he has, but you still have to throw the football. And that's where he loses me. I don't think I'm fidgeting around here. I'm sorry. I don't think on the throwing the football part, he's in Kenny Pickett's league. I don't think he is.
No, I agree with you. But back to Joe Burrow though, real quick, and how long he's going to be out. Maybe a couple weeks. The injury's going to limit him. Will that philosophically change what people do in the preseason at all? I know it was just practice, and I know it was non-contact, but I wonder how people will look at this and say we got to wrap our quarterback in a bubble in the offseason and not even let him do anything till the first game. Imagine if this injury lingers and he's never the same.
I don't think he will be. I think he does have, this is a problem. I think he's out 3 games. And by the way, just so you notice, like I changed my disguise. I put on my Joe Burrow glasses.
You did, right. Your gold, your gold plated glasses.
Gold, they're not plated.
Mm-hmm.
But these glasses are the result of me seeing Joe walk into the stadium Super Bowl day. And although I couldn't stand his zebra suit, I liked his glasses. So I bought them.
Gotcha.
So, Joe, this is an honor to you. I hope you're out for at least 6 games, but then that you come back and finish healthy. But at least stay gone 6.
Yeah, so that the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have to play him.
Steelers, I don't care what the one-loss record is. I predicted 12-5, but take all those predictions in the world and throw them away. Regardless of the record, Pittsburgh Steelers will win the division.
Man,
I'm going to bet on. Can we bet on this? Can I go?
You can bet a lot on that. Yeah, you could. The payout's huge on the Steelers winning.
What would that be?
A ton. If you bet $2, I think you win $35.
$1,000, $5,000, because I'm that sure.
Well, you're winning a lot of money if you bet $5,000. What are they? Plus 1,700 to win the division or something like that?
I don't know.
I mean, it's big.
There's nobody going to beat them. Nobody's going to beat them.
Now, let me ask you this. This is a serious question. Is that based off of what you saw in the offseason or what you're gaining just off of one preseason game?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I said it right from the beginning. I've looked at the talent. I've looked at the structure. I've looked at the organization and the way they've built the team. And if they are allowed to play, if Matt Canada, and this is what I said right from the beginning, I've said it since the last game last year. If Matt Canada allows them to play the game that they're capable of playing, they are division winners. Because think about this. When Ben was here, we had the beginnings of something, and they kept blaming the fact that Ben couldn't throw the ball. I don't know what if that was true or not, but we had all the pieces starting to come into place. I'm looking at Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is at the peak of. He's going to be the best of the best. I believe he's really a good coach, and more than that, he's a good people person, and he's a good person. So I think he's ready to go. I think everybody is like a crescendo, and everything is coming together at once, and that's the basis of my comment. Not seeing, it didn't make me feel bad to see that series where everything clicked and they scored. It was like scripted. So, no, it didn't make me feel bad, and it certainly enhanced my feeling. But my feeling about winning the division has been stable right from the beginning. I think, didn't I express that?
You have. I just I didn't know if it was reinforced by the first preseason game or if it was bolstered or anything.
No, it was falsely reinforced. It feels good. It's a feel good. But potential is something. If you can show that and you can be that once, I mean, you can be that. And the defense, I think the defense is going to be a shutdown defense. I think you're going to be bowled over by what that defense does this year. I really do. And then you're going to have an offense behind it. This could be one of the best Steeler seasons ever.
I am a big, I got to see it first before I believe it guy.
I know. Well, you're you're the data guy, and I'm the emotion guy.
No, no, I'm driven by emotion a lot of times
I
too.
don't see it.
I just have to see Kenny Pickett do it in big moments, in gigantic moments. And the Steelers have a penchant for playing a zillion close games. They're
But
going to be. They
Colin,
play a ton of
you,
3-point
you've
games.
seen you've seen Kenny Pickett in year one do it in big games. You saw him do it. Didn't he go 7-2 in the last
He
9 games?
did.
Okay, 7-2 last 9 games. The last 2 games consecutive, seconds left on the clock, touchdown, strike in the end zone twice, not the same game. I mean, yeah, okay, we want to see that consistently being defined as multiple years. I get that, but man, there were some real pressure situations, I think.
I agree with you. I want to see it in the division. I want to see it early on. I want to see it early in the season so as it doesn't have to be out of necessity late in the year. That's much different to me. Build a bit of a buffer if you can as a football team, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So look at the record, or look at the schedule. What is the schedule? San
Sure,
Francisco.
they open up. Here, I got it right here. I was thinking about that, right?
Yeah,
I have it right here for you. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they open up with the 49ers, okay?
yeah.
So that is first. So
Okay,
you
wait,
think that
let's
is
stop there for a minute. Quarterback on the 49ers. Who's it going to be?
the guy who played last year from Iowa State,
I
right?
don't think he's ready. Is he ready?
He might be, might not be. So
I don't think he is.
so the 49ers, they're going to go first, and he was cleared for practice. Brock Purdy was. So this was just the other day. So
Okay.
who knows? If not Trey Lance, I don't know. One of those two guys.
I'm going to tell you, Brock Purdy scares me in that
I
game.
agree with you. He absolutely scares me.
Yeah,
He was good
scares,
for a reason last year.
yeah, he scares me. And the other, if there's a substitute quarterback in, no problem, Steeler victory. But Brock Purdy, I love his model. I love everything about him.
Well,
So
let's just take
we'll
the
still
first
win, but
5
it will be
games.
tougher. Go ahead.
First 5 games is where the season is won or lost. They play San Francisco to start. Then on a long week, they are home against Cleveland on a Monday night. That should be a win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Yes.
Okay.
We could stop along the way, but yes.
Then on a short week, they go to Vegas on a Sunday night.
Okay.
Vegas, not a great team, but short week at Vegas.
I hate that team.
Okay. Then
who did they pick up for their quarterback?
Vegas has Jimmy G, don't they?
Jimmy G. And I like Jimmy G. But
Mm-hmm.
he won't beat the Steelers. Go ahead.
Okay. Then Houston, they're going to start a young quarterback. That should be a win. And then Baltimore at home. Those are the first 5 games. The Steelers should be 4-1. If they're not 4-1, they're in bad shape.
I agree with that. I think 4-1. I think you have a potential to be 5-0 there, but I think 4-1, it gives them some fluff, gives them a little leeway on any of the games. 4-1, worst case, 5-0, best case.
Okay, there it is. It's the first 5 games, Richard. The first 5 games, then a total recalibration of what's going on. If they're not 4-1, they're in trouble.
Right, but then again, so see, I don't want to really lock into that either, because if they do go, 4-2 or 4-3, 4-2 can still be a great season. So I hate to make that kind of a drop dead record that if they're not 4-1, they're going to be bad. I don't think so. I think the Steelers will win the division. That's the bottom line. The end, done. I'll bet you $1.
I'll bet you. What if they tie for the division?
No, they win the division.
I'll bet you $1 they finish second.
Or
third.
I'm going to call my guy and tell him to go down to the casino and make a bet for me.
I think 10 wins at most, probably 9-8 still.
Don't do this to me, please.
I can't get to 12 wins. You 12-5?
Come on, man. I don't care about the 5. I care about the 12. The 12.
They're gonna win their first game. You're gonna tell me they're gonna be 16-1. That's what's gonna happen.
I do have a little emotion.
A lot of emotion. All right. Well, so you have them officially winning the division.
They're going to win the division.
I'm going to think about it during the week, and I'm going to come up with a firm record for next week. And I'm not going to flip-flop. A firm record and exactly who they're going to beat and who they're going to lose to. Is that a deal?
Yeah, I do want to hear that. Are you do you have your show in the evenings?
Yes, 6 to 10 at night, every night.
I think I love that. And we should be promoting more of that. Because if you want more of you after seeing this, which I don't know why anybody would, but
Right.
if you want more of you, you can find you on the Fan, right? And from 6 to 10 every night.
Every single night by
I
myself,
love,
which is what
I
I like.
love that. I'm so excited for that. So,
Yes, sir.
so I love it. Keep talking. You're the most intelligent person I know. Sports person.
No. Relax.
Yeah, I gotta speak for myself now. Okay, pull it back. Okay, I love you, man.
See you soon.